A few other little fish with a few niggly issues. I forgot to take my rudd, my tench and my orf out. On his gill plate, it's actually started rotting on the skin of his gill plates. And the only difference is that the kahaku is probably now turning into a sankey because those shimmies that he had seem to be getting a bit larger. You're probably wondering why I've got this up. And by the way, Vince, you was right, mate. Hey up my ducks, and welcome back to Shoppy's Koi. Not been around for a few weeks because there's not really been anything to vlog or to really update on the fish. Everything as it was a few weeks ago with the infections of what's going on and the fin rot. I'm just going to do a little bit of an update this week just because there's a few more developments. There's a few other little fish with a few niggly issues. Nothing too bad. The sankey probably exactly the same as it was. I have done a couple of PP treatments. The first one I did, it went brown quite quickly, but I think I did the dose probably a little bit too weak. Obviously I've got plants in the pond, so I think because of the organic matter from the plants and stuff, it did go brown pretty quick. But what I did do another half dose to try and keep it purple, but I wouldn't say I really got 4 hours out of it. And like an absolute idiot, I forgot to take my rudd, my tench and my orf out. I just didn't think, and did PP'd it. Now the blue orf was absolutely fine. One of the tench absolutely fine, but my other tench and the rudd was starting to gasp at the top a bit, and my rudd was starting to roll. Quickly got them out, got them in a nice bowl of clean water with an air stone, dechlorinated obviously. And then, you know, they were fine after that, and I just left them there while I was doing the treatment. As soon as I neutralised it with the hydrogen peroxide, you know, I put them back in the pond and they've been absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do, I'll just bowl a couple of fish up. We'll just show you, give you a bit of an update. So yeah, so there's obviously something really untoward going on in the pond, but I think with the PP treatments and the Virkon, it's probably keeping on top of it. It's been really warm as well, as you know, for these last week or so, so temperatures have been really good, which will really help the koi out. Yes, I've still not took them out and separated them, but at the end of the day, if the whole pond's got an issue, then it's better off to treat the whole pond with these fish in it anyway. Now the only other one was my little ghost, who probably kick-started all this off in the first place. He had this wound that was sort of healing over, which was keeping on top of, and it was doing really well, but there's a few red marks on that same wound again, so I've had to sort of retreat that these past couple of weeks. And then my Benny Kikikuru, that's how I pronounce it, he's probably got an issue now. So on his gill plate, it's actually started rotting on the skin of his gill plate, so it's a bit hard to treat when I've sedated it and got it out. So obviously I don't want anything sort of running into the gills if I'm putting a wound cleaner on or anything like that. So what I've done, I've just dabbed a bit of Tamidine on a cotton bud and sort of gone round the edge of the skin where it seems to be blotting his way, but you can actually see the plate under the skin. His skin has really gone. Now in terms of the fish swimming around, they're all swimming perfectly, they're all eating fine. There's been no issues that way, they're not slumped to the bottom, clamp fins, anything like that. It's obviously just a few of these rotting issues. Blanket weed, you know, I've really been keeping on top of. That's all seemed to have cleared now, which is good. And so my hoovering out, I don't have to do as vigorous as I was. The waste is now actually getting through to the bottom drain, which is, in terms of water quality, that's going to help. Good. Now as you can see with the water, it's gone a bit green because of the treatments and stuff like that. Obviously my UV's been on and off, it's off now. I normally leave it off for a couple of 24 hours when I Virk on it as well. So because my UV has hardly been on, it's obviously made my pond go a bit green, which you just can't really see the bottom unless you get close up. You don't want to be able to see it on camera anyway because of the reflection. I don't want to keep netting a lot of these fish out because it's really putting them under stress. So if you look at my big ghost, I'll just pick him out first just because he's at the top of the water. He's just lost a scale at the top. A couple of sprays of antibac on there, nothing too serious. We'll have a look at the sankey in a sec. My Chagoi also lost a couple of scales, but again, nothing redness on there, so nothing too serious. Now my Kimatsuba, he had a big issue. So on the side of his flank, like the Hiatsuri a couple of years ago, if you remember that one on past videos, again, it looks like a wound / ulcer on its flank, so that one got quite serious, but again, treating that. The Kahaku seems to be fine. The only difference is that the Kahaku is probably now turning into a Sankey, because those shimmies that he had seem to be getting a bit larger. So he looks like a bit of a Sumi coming through, so the Kahaku is probably turning into a Sankey, which ain't good. And we'll have a look at the little ghost. I'll show you that with the redness seem to coming back. The Magoi or Miracle, whatever you want to call it, you probably can't see it, is there, look. She had that where she looks like quite a bit of a skin. Again, if you remember on past videos, a few videos back, well, that's all healed up great. And apart from that, the others seem to be good. You're probably wondering why I've got this up. It's to help with the dust, because look what started. The outbuilding is down. The extension has finally started. So all the updates for this are all going to be on a separate video, and it's going to go on to my other channel, Sharpie's World. When it's all complete, I'm doing a bit of a video diary as we go. So once the extension's all complete, check on my other channel, Sharpie's World, and you'll see our complete videos on there on the extension. But yeah, so the outbuilding is gone. There's a digger under there, ready for the footings to go in, which should be the next couple of days. Just got to dig all that out. Of course, I've told them I still need a water supply for the pond, so they're left me a tap, which is good. I've got to get away from it because my Alexa's on. I'm probably not done for copyright. Just done the filter clean, normal weekly clean. Cut a few plants back. Just topping it up now through the dechlorinator. I've not been putting this on this year. I've seen a few videos. I think Andy from Derby Koi did one once about the rust and stuff. So just in case that's had anything to do with this effect of the koi, I've not really bothered with it, to be honest with you. I did have it on when I PP'd it, just because I wanted as much oxygen going in there as possible, and my retro drain was on full as well. The air's off at the minute just because I was filming. Some of you will probably say, well, you can take your plants out to PP, obviously, but of course if there's anything untowards on the plants, anything like that, it's better off just to leave them in the pond. If it keeps having to go brown too quick and I'm having to keep redosing to keep it purple, then I suppose I can just chuck them in a pool and just PP the plants separate, so I won't have to worry about the dosage. But obviously next time I do it, the tench, the rud, even though the orth was fine, I'll probably still take the orth out as well. And by the way, Vince, you was right, mate. Getting the bigger net was worth it. Oh my god, it's been a godsend. So thanks for making me choose the bigger one at the koi show a few weeks back.
Did tell you to get that one in the first place, Sharpie.
She did. And obviously then Vince and Rocky Boy made sure I got the bigger one. It's been an absolute godsend, so it's been perfect, absolutely perfect. So much easier to get the fish out. I'll just guide them into the blue tray there. So cheers. She's gardening, keeping on top of things. Obviously it's like a building site at the minute. We've got all sorts going on. Dust has been horrendous because all the windows and doors have been open. It's been red hot this week. It's not really helped with the dust getting in through to the house, but that's what we're investing in, I suppose. Right, so this is my key Matsuba. Oh, sorry, I just made it start a little bit. So let's see what you can actually see on camera. So lift it up slightly, so it's this flank. No, it's not, sorry, it's the other flank. Try and spin him around. What can you see on camera without actually... It doesn't help that I'm having to do a camera in one hand and all the tray in the other, so I might have to get the missus to do a little bit of filming. Right, so I've got two hands free now. So lift it up so you can see that. You can see it on camera, it's quite bad. on this flank there, a bit green with the algae. So I'm going to keep treating that. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not. Yeah, a bit hard to see that way. But... Right, so while we're waiting for it to come round, so it looks bigger than what it actually is. It's just where I put obviously the powder stuff that acts as the plaster, and all this yellow around here is just the anti-bac. If you look at his vent fin down there as well, there's slight rot in there. But this is my biggest concern. Obviously I don't want that to get bigger just like all the other fish, so we're on top of that as well. But obviously this is the main concern. Depends how much of that flesh it eats away. Because if it starts eating away too much and obviously it's not getting any better, then of course I'm going to call it as well. So oh, I forgot to tell you as well, acroflavin is another one. Oh, blurred, very blurred, hang on a sec. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so a bit of acroflavin's been going in, hence why of course the UV's been off a lot longer with the acroflavin dose treatment. The reason it's gone green. So I just normally leave them in there, let them come back round. Obviously you can drop them into the pond, but I don't like doing that just because all the water movements and stuff, they get knocked and things like that. I've got my retro drain at the bottom and my pumps and stuff, so I normally let them come around in the tray. And it's coming around now, so we'll let him come around and then we'll get another one out. Right, so here's obviously one of the worst ones. Tim Rock, who's just got out of the tray, you little sod. It's the first time he's ever done that. Right, this time is in the sedate, so lost all his dorsal, unfortunately. Well, not all his dorsal, but obviously that part of his dorsal. All the green bits is just from the algae, which we'll just get off with a cotton bud and we'll do the wound clean. And this is the other fish who I'm probably more worried about. My Benikikikokoru, whose gill plate is all eroding. So I'm not sure if you can see through there, but all the skin is eroding. And you can see the actual gill plate underneath. Let's see if you can go. You can't look through there. It's bleeding at the gills a bit as well, so the water's going a bit more discoloured. But it's a bit hard to treat because of where it is, so I just get some Tamidine on a cotton board and sort of just go around the edge, and hopefully we can keep on top of that. But while that one's going under, to be honest, it's been a bit of a hard time these last few weeks. Another reason I've not been filming. I've even thought about throwing in the towel. I spoke to a couple of people as well, and I've said, look, I've had enough. I think going forward, what I'm going to do, the Sankey, I think I'm just going to get rid of it, to be honest with you. I've not filmed that bit, but I've had it out, and there's new places actually I've just noticed today on the actual fish where things are coming up, a few ulcery type stuff. So I think the best thing to do is just to get rid of that fish. I'm not sure what to do about the Kimatsuba as well, so that might join it at the minute. But yeah, I think the Sankey, it's time for it to go, because swimming around and he's eating, but obviously if it's not getting any better, then what's the point? You don't know what other issues it's giving to the other fish. I'll tell you what, it's stressing me out. If I had hair, I wouldn't have hair anymore. It's probably one of the reasons I have no hair. Women, kids and fish. Right, but yeah, he's rolled over. It's quite scary sometimes when I do the Benikikikoru, because like last week it took ages to come round and I thought I bloody killed it.
I cried.
She did, she cried, because he wasn't coming round, his gills weren't moving or anything. It took a good 20 minutes for it to come round.
Very scary.
Right, I'm going to sort this one out. Oh, you probably think I'm mad, but I'm going to persevere for a little bit longer. I just want to ask you guys something though as well. So I've obviously got a paddling pool, which you might have seen when I did my pond upgrade and put my fish in. Now the only filtration I've got at the minute, because I haven't got this easy pod sorted out yet from the father-in-law who's closing down his pond because he's moving house and stuff, so obviously I can't do that until he's properly closed it down. So the only filtration I've got is that box filter I used to have on the pond before the Nexus, which has got some alpha grog in it and, you know, those like black plastic pipe stuff. I do have a UV which I could set up on top of that as well. So what would you do? Would you fill that up with the pond water, because obviously it's the same water, put the infected fish in there, it'd be easier to PP, it'd be easier to salt and that kind of stuff? Or would you just put clean water in, obviously make sure the temperatures are spot on, get them acclimatized, and just put the fish in? Obviously feeding wise really cut down because of the new pond syndrome and all that stuff, because the filter will obviously have to restart. So just put in the, sorry my battery went then. Yes, just put in the comments below, you know, what would you do, which way around would you do it? But if I'm going to persevere, I'm going to have to do it. I've got to get them out of this pond, because like I say, any other fish are just going to be coming to come to it. Hence why I think the Kimatsuba's now got it, and the Benikikikoru, whoever else is going to, you might struggle further down the line. So it's got to be done, hasn't it, to be fair. So right, so like I said, it was just a bit of an update. Again, I didn't want to go through the same stuff every single week, but that's all that's really going on in the pond. I think if I do take the fish out and get everything set up that way, it's just where do I put it for now? I've got lots of dust coming from the extension, I've got the stress from the extension, it's really sort of doing me head in. So I've got to try and keep it covered somehow as well, and away from that, maybe up there somewhere. So yeah, so really that's it for this week, guys. So please make sure you give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and hit that bell so you get notified. Hopefully I'm going to try and keep up with the posting, try not to leave it too long. I'd like to say I've got better news coming as well, but we'll see. So at the minute I'm 50-50 whether to get rid of the Sankey and then just try and persevere with the Benikikikoru and the Kimatsuba. Well yeah, decisions. Let me know. Cheers my ducks. Bye.